Hello everyone and welcome back guys to the SRL Classics League, and today we are here for round 4 of the season, the R26 if I can get the right car right, at the Hungaroring, a track that I'm not a fan of, a car that I'm not a fan of, so this one was going to be a little tougher than normal. But in terms of the championship, if you did miss out last episode, I would highly recommend going back and checking out, but I am now leading the title by just 1 point over Jack Hopwood, so it's going to be crucial that I do beat him around this circuit. But I'm going to leave you on board then with my qualifying lap. Quite a conservative lap on the whole, but hopefully you still enjoy. Out of the final corner then, and down towards the line, it is going to be P3 on the grid there. Not exactly the ideal place to start, but P3 2 weeks in a row there. Really need to try and get my 1 lap pace sorted out in this game. I seem to be more of a racer than a qualifier on this game, which is the exact opposite of me on F1 2016. But as I said, P3 on the grid behind Langman on a 1 minute 20.0. That was a very, very quick lap by him. Active Beacon on a 1 minute 20.2, and then myself on a 1 minute 20.3. There we had Kung Fu Kenny Jack that I was just able to qualify, and then my main championship rival Jack down in at P5 there. So ideal that we're starting ahead of him for this race. But let's move on then into the Hungarian Grand Prix. Lining up then on the grid ready for this race. Only 9 cars able to make it this race. Unfortunately, overrated llama disconnected at the end of qualifying there. But on the grid ready for this Hungarian Grand Prix. It's 5 lights. And it is lights out. And away we go. And off to a fairly poor start there. Kung Fu Kenny Jack's going to be able to pull alongside me down towards turn 1 here. We're just going to try and keep it nice and clean there. And Langman, no idea what that lag is all about there. But I think, yeah, definitely the term Lagman needs to be coming back out there. Completely mounted my car there. Unfortunately for me, that meant Kung Fu Kenny Jack was able to make the move down at turn 1 there. So we're down into P4 of the Grand Prix here as we go through turn 2 and turn 3 here. Just trying to get the power down nice and early here. And this car with so much fuel is just an absolute boat. It's not that nice to drive. It's obviously got traction control still, which means whenever the back end skates out even just a bit, then the power just completely cuts out. So it's not the nicest car in the world to be driving there. But coming through in towards Sector 2 here, as you can see, we're already struggling to keep up with the top 3 there. Active Beacon got the jump on Langman down in towards turn 1 there, but now as we skip on to lap 4 of the Grand Prix here, and you can see the top 2 starting to make a tiny bit of a breakaway here. I'm trying to keep up with Kung Fu Kenny Jack there, but it's been a bit of a lag punt between Langman and Active Beacon there. That sent Beacon out massively wide. He nearly collects Kung Fu Kenny Jack there, but that's going to move me up into P3. Going to try and have a look right around the outside there. Unfortunately, not able to make that position stick there. We're still holding behind Kung Fu Kenny Jack as of now in the Grand Prix, struggling to get the power down out of the final corner. But that means after Langman's punt through the the 4th last corner of the lap there, he's not going to be in the lead of the Grand Prix there. And now we need to try and jump Kung Fu Kenny Jack, or hope that he's going to try and apply the pressure to Langman leading the Grand Prix at the moment. A couple of new drivers in this week as well, which always nice to see different faces, but hopefully they can be safe around other cars on the track there. We can see Kung Fu Kenny Jack is starting to apply a bit of pressure to Langman up the road there as we come in towards turn 1 here, but Kung Fu Kenny Jack has dropped it on the curbs there. No idea how he's nearly binned it. That might have been a bit of lag from a Langman once more there, but Kung Fu Kenny Jack half spins the car there, and that moves me I'm into P2 of the Grand Prix here. The gap to Langman about 2.5 seconds ahead of me here. So now I'm in the hot seat to try and push to catch him up over these next few laps. But on to lap 16, the gap sort of stayed level at the moment. We were both sort of pushing just as much as each other here. But I'm going to dive into the pit lane, go for a bit of an undercut strategy over Langman there. Be the first to make the call in this Grand Prix. And hopefully we can just get off to a nice, clean, quick pit stop in this Grand Prix here. It's quite difficult to try and make sure you're perfect with them every time. There's so much things you have to remember on F1 2017. And the first one was actually remember to rev the car up there. I missed out probably on close to half a second there forgetting to rev the car as we exited the pits. And also completely forgot to change back up, disable the pit limiter there. But apart from that, we probably cost ourselves about a second overall in the pit lane there, which is really, really not ideal considering we were trying to go for the undercut on Langman here. He pit one lap later, as you see coming out the pit lane there. He's going to, according to my screen, he's going to come out straight back on to the circuit there. He claimed that's not exactly what happened there, but I don't really know about that. But yeah, unfortunately we did lose out on a tiny bit of time from that, but we'll have a little bit extra momentum on this next lap just due to obviously having the warmer tyres at the moment. As we can see, skipping on now to lap 24. The gap sort of wasn't really coming down, sort of really wasn't coming up. It sort of stayed around between sort of 2 and 3 seconds throughout most of this second stint of the Grand Prix. We were both really trying to push, force each other into a bit of a mistake as we come through turn 1. They're able to hook up quite a nice apex there. As you can see, skipping on now to lap 30. The gap had come down just a tiny bit here, but we were really, really trying to push in terms of the fuel and everything else, setting a 1:21.1 there. So quite a quick lap in terms of race pace here. These cars really do come alive, when they're on a lot less fuel, which is quite odd to see on the F1 games here. But you can see Langman still just a couple of seconds up the road at the moment, and it's, we're not looking too good to try and be able to make any sort of gains on him at the moment. But skipping on to the final lap of the Grand Prix, you can see still 1.5 seconds up the road here, but I think now at this point he was really having to try and fuel save at, with a couple of laps left to go of this Grand Prix. So this is going to be absolutely crucial if I could try and mount a bit of a charge on this final couple of laps of the Grand Prix. I was still trying to push as much as possible. You can see we've made a bit of a mistake through turn 4 there as well, dipping one wheel on the grass there. You can see coming now, we are basically all over the back of Langman here. Half a lap to go of this Grand Prix here. Not really too many positions where, an opportunity can arise, but he's a little bit all over the place at the moment. Really starting to struggle under the pressure here as we come down in towards the final sector of this Grand Prix. He completely runs wide there, and I didn't even intend to try and make an overtake there. I just went to try and clip the apex there, but down in towards the third final corner. He completely punts me off the circuit there. Not really too sure how I feel about that there, but, Langman reclaims the position there very, very aggressively there. Not really too sure how I do feel about that, but in towards the final corner of the Grand Prix there. Unfortunately, after that, nothing we could really do, but it all got very exciting right at the very end there. But I'm going to come through for P2 in the Grand Prix there. Not exactly the ideal finish that I would have wanted. I really felt, the win was definitely on the cards there. But having a look, Jack Hopwood, my main rival, finishing P3. He had a couple of incidents, but also got quite lucky due to a couple of other retirements there. So to only pull out 3 points on him in that race, really not what I wanted there, unfortunately. But sometimes, that's just the way the racing works. But most importantly, we do hold on to the championship lead. And if I could try and build up a bit more of a points gap, that would be very, very ideal over the next few weeks there. But Langman, as I said, able to take home the race victory there. Very, very well done to him. Although his defending right at the end was a little bit controversial, I think we can both agree. He still did everything he needed to over the course of the race, and his race pace was really there today. Nice though for me, able to keep up with AOR Tier 1 drivers as well, able to try and push and really prove my own there. But having a look at the end of the race, you can see Langman won, myself second, Jack third, Active Beacon P4 after showing very, very strong pace in the start of the race. Mini Dude or Jack Walker, as some of you will know, P5, SRL Bosley, one of the lead coordinators, 6th, and Jammy 360, I think that is also, we've got Factual Impala and Kung Fu Kenny Jack as well, also retiring from that Grand Prix there, guys. But hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. In terms of the standings, as I said, we now lead by 4 points. We are on 80 points, I think, to Jack's 76 overall at the end of that race. But hopefully, if you guys have enjoyed, do not forget to like, subscribe. The next track is Monaco in the F2004. But that was the sight that I was greeted with down towards Turn 1. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time for a brand new video.